Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Friends, welcome to Encounter, sponsored by the Broome County Council of Churches. I'm your host, Mark Kimpland, the pastor at the Endwell United Methodist Church. I'm very excited about this program that we have for you today. It's a program that I was not aware even existed, and the more research I have done, the more excited I have become. As you know, if you look at the calendars, the holiday season is right around the corner. And within the next few weeks, we will be entering into the season of giving thanks and Thanksgiving and gathering with family and friends. And soon after that happens, we turn our attention many times to Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And so the topic today is going to be on a new initiative called Giving Tuesday. And I'm thrilled to be joined today with the Executive Director of Mom's House, Laura Bowen, and also the Executive Director of Life Choices in Binghamton, Michelle Brown. Welcome to Encounter, and I'm glad you are both here.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Well, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about something I don't know anything about. I've done some exploration, and the more I did, the more intrigued I was. So why don't you give our viewers and listeners just kind of an overview, a synopsis. What is Giving Tuesday? I'm sure they know about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but what about Giving Tuesday? What can you share just to kind of use this as a springboard today?
Well, Giving Tuesday is an initiative that was started in 2012 by the 92nd Street Y. And what it is it's an opportunity to kick off the giving season. So the holidays, people think about, the blessings that they have. Of course, Thanksgiving is thinking about the blessings you have. And then with the idea that we get a lot of energy around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, they came up with the idea of why not have Giving Tuesday, which is the very next day after Cyber Monday. So this is a campaign, a single-day campaign around getting the community to support the nonprofits in the community who serve those in need. And it's a 24-hour period where we hope to get support both financially, but also in ways of time or in services that people may have to offer that these different nonprofits need in order to continue to serve the community.
I also think a lot of nonprofits, or a lot of people in the community, haven't heard of Giving Tuesday, but it is the third largest giving day of the year. So it's been a national, actually a global initiative. So it's very popular in other areas of the country, and so we're trying to bring that here.
Where has been the roots of the Giving Tuesday then, if in its popularity? I mean, it began when, where?
In 2012
Okay.
in New York City with the 92nd Street Y. It was actually a collaborative effort with the United Nations Foundation.
All right, okay.
In 2012. Up to this point, larger communities have really gotten on board with it. One of the success stories we could talk about was Baltimore. In 2013, I believe it was, initiated a Be More Gives More. And it was a huge effort to make Baltimore known as this generous community. And they were quite successful. I believe their goal was $1 million, and they raised $1.5 million.
Oh, exciting, yeah.
In their first rollout of that. And so we feel that Binghamton is a generous community. I was born and raised in this community, so I know what this community has gone through and what it was at one point and where we are today, and that I know we're quite generous in our giving. And so we want to initiate a similar Giving Tuesday in this community.
Now,
That's our hashtag too, is Greater Binghamton Gives Greater.
Yes.
So.
neat hashtag. That is really neat. Good. Now, so how many, is this the first year then in the Binghamton area, or is this a continuing event that's happened over a few years, or where do we stand here with this area?
This is our first year.
Okay.
Now, individual organizations, I know Mom's House did that on their own last year. And I think other nonprofits in the area have attempted to do it on their own, but it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, and we know nonprofits, each individual who participates in a nonprofit wears many hats. And so we thought, let's put together a collaborative effort of multiple nonprofits and be able to magnify the energy and the awareness and the efforts of each person, and hopefully make it a much more successful event. And this will be something that'll be ongoing. So this is our first year, and we have some goals around our first year. One of those goals is to have 50 nonprofits participate,
Okay.
as well as financial goals on an individual basis.
Yeah. So you're pioneers.
Yes.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, we did try, Mom's
Wonderful.
House did try to do
Yes.
this last year and the year before, and with not much success.
Okay.
So this is really exciting because actually Michelle really started the ball rolling, and I think just trying to collaborate with other nonprofits and so forth makes the awareness that much greater. And then we're trying to also bring in the media and again, to just increase awareness and have people really be thinking about Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
This morning, I went to my computer and I Googled Giving Tuesday and went to their website and was really struck by the power of nonprofits in the world in which we live, that without nonprofits, much of what goes on in this world through generosity and giving and services and such things wouldn't take place, because the government just cannot do that. So I guess my question to you is, what other nonprofits are involved in this initiative? What do you hope? Who are you hoping will be involved in this as you roll out this exciting program?
You know, one of the interesting things was, you can't believe how difficult it is to get a list of local nonprofits. And to this day, we still struggle. So what happened was, this was something that myself and my communications director really had a heart for, and so we just started making some phone calls. And we got a group of about 6 nonprofit leaders, and we started meeting, I want to say last March, and just working on the idea of how this can all be rolled out on a local level. Interestingly, about June, we found out that New York State is starting a statewide initiative. They collaborated, the United Way and NICON, which is New York Council of Nonprofits. And they collaborated to do a statewide giving day. And as a result of that, they contracted with a local donation platform called GiveGab. And so they have donated their services to all the nonprofits for this day to get set up for any donations that are given on Giving Tuesday.
they also provide a lot more than just that, the donor platform, but they've also provided for nonprofits. I mean, it's been hugely helpful for us because they sort of give you an idea of ideas of what to do to lead up to the day. And they start back in June, and then each month they give you some other ideas to roll out with your constituents and with other potential donors, and they give you email ideas, and they give you the graphics, they give you, just step by step how to set up your fundraising page for this even, and so it's a really great guide. It's been hugely helpful for Mom's House. I hadn't had that in the past, So I think that's part of the reason why we weren't as successful, So this is exciting.
Good.
One of the things I think nonprofits all have in common is not much expertise and dollars around marketing. And so this resource, gives us all the step-by-step on what to do for marketing. And like Lori said, the graphics and the ideas and the tools in order to be able to get our name and the awareness out there.
Are there specific nonprofit organizations that, or is there a half a dozen or so that you're really honing in on, or is it just a blank canvas as to?
Anybody is welcome.
Any nonprofit.
Okay.
We're not limiting. We want everybody who would be interested in participating to participate. And anybody who has an interest, they don't have to commit right away. If they just want information, we'll give information on how to contact myself or Lori.
There's definitely strength in numbers. Ideas, even the steering committee around that table, everybody has different ideas. The input has been really great too. And and it's good because we just sort of, give our ideas, and we've gone, I think for me too, I've used a lot of the ideas that people shoot out there, So, and the day of, we've been kind of figuring out what we can do for Giving Tuesday that particular day. And so there's been a lot of great ideas, and I think it'll be a fun day too that I'm looking forward to as well. But again, and the media will be involved too. So it's, it's something that I think, if it's going to be successful, we're really, it's going to be this Giving Tuesday.
That's a great segue, because that was kind of my next question. What activities do you have planned? What kind of things do you see being launched on Giving Tuesday to draw the community and the nonprofits together? Are there specifics that that are at least on the drawing board at this time?
Yes.
Well, yes, and one that really captured my attention right from the beginning was called the Unselfie. So the day of, we're going to be at the Oakdale Mall, and we'll be there pretty much all day. And so we'll set up, and we want to have, it's again a collaborative effort, so we want to concentrate on the fact that not the individual nonprofits as much as we're all coming together as one, appealing to the community to donate on this day to their favorite nonprofit. And so the Unselfie is for donors that come in. We've got, Michelle, you could probably explain a little bit better, because it's sort of, it's using social media to encourage your friends and peers to give. And so we'll have, kind of have a area set up that they can say, I've given to such and such an organization, and it's an unselfie, which is, the opposite of a selfie, and it's, again, trying to concentrate on giving on that day and doing for others rather than concentrating on ourselves and materialism, maybe, and so forth.
And even go a little further with the Unselfie is, many of us heard of the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Right.
So we hope to encourage an Unselfie challenge. So somebody would post their picture with a little placard that says, I love whatever the organization is, and gave to them on Giving Tuesday, and have our Greater Binghamton Gives Greater hashtag. And from that, they could say, I challenge, these 3 friends to give on Giving Tuesday. So hopefully it'll become, and that's the point of Giving Tuesday, which I failed to mention earlier, is it's a social media campaign. That's the idea, is it's encouraged all through social media. So we hope to have, as an organization, individually, you have people who are true believers in what you do, they're passionate about your cause. Those people you want to encourage to become champions. And they then can start the whole idea of, I've given on Giving Tuesday, and they want to share this with their friends. And it can become so much more far-reaching than just the Greater Binghamton area.
We also want to involve the businesses too. And so another idea is to say, if we're going to try to reach out to, different maybe restaurants and coffee shops and so forth, and ask if they see that they've, given, if a a person comes into their establishment and they say that they have given and can prove that on their phone, like a phone receipt, and then maybe they can get a 10% discount off their bill or something. And so we'll, kind of involve, encourage. That's a nice way to encourage giving, but it's also a way to involve the business community as well to support this effort.
Wonderful idea. The power of social networking is just amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Right.
So, are there anything other than that? But the focus is on social networking and the social media and such things. Are there other specifics that you want to share for that day as to what else will be happening?
Well, we'll have all the nonprofits, each will spend a little time that day at the mall. We're all going to share in that time spent. We're going to have one t-shirt that represents Greater Binghamton Gives Greater. So we're not going to have our own individual nonprofits represented, other than we're going to have a slideshow. And the slideshow will show 3 to 5 pictures and the logo of each individual nonprofit. So people coming by will be able to see what organizations are involved. We're also going to be passing out a little flyer that explains Giving Tuesday, specifically our local efforts, and then it'll list all the nonprofits that are involved on that sheet of paper. So people won't have to wonder who locally is participating in this. Right. And so the other thing I'd like to say is the New York Gives Day is a website that nonprofits, as Lori had said, it offers several webinars to help them walk through the process of setting up their own page for giving. They put their story, they can put pictures, they can put videos, they can put donation amounts based on certain goals they have set for this Giving Day, so they can personalize it and individualize it to their particular nonprofit. Each nonprofit can participate in that entirely and do not have to participate in our local initiative. We just feel that we want to give it a personal flavor. We know our community better than New York State as a whole, and so we want it to be very personal on a local level.